Hello and welcome to my first video on my Cyber Christian channel. Okay, in this video I want to talk about, are you new to learning cybersecurity? Do you have times where you get frustrated? Are you feeling like maybe it's not for you because of the difficult terms? Well, here's my story and I hope that it inspires you to keep going. And at the end, I will share how I got into cybersecurity. All right, so I'll start off with saying that on the 19th, my interest was born in learning about cybersecurity. And last night, I started thinking more about learning penetration testing after I learned the basics. So first, I enrolled in Intro to Cybersecurity. The theory seemed like it was easy to follow. I actually went with Coursera first, but it seemed like the guy was reading from a incorrect teleprompter. Like he would say sentences that kind of didn't make any sense. So that's when I found this one. And I said, okay, I like this one. I get what they're saying. I'm taking my notes. My chatgpt is helping me understand terms I don't understand. Okay. So eventually I start having questions about, like, what is this job going to look like hands-on? So the ChatGPT starts telling me, well, eventually you're going to want to get into hack the box. And I thought, well, is it too early to do hack the box, or can I do it like simultaneously with my learning? ChatGPT suggested try it out with your learning. So I said, well, let me just try it out. Oh, I was met with some challenges that broke my brain. So I get on the hack the box, which I didn't even realize it wound up being what I want to get into. But I started seeing right away more terms I did not know. This, what is this? What is this? What is this? What in the world is that? That sounds so boring. But this sound boring. I'm like, oh my God, what are these terms? So the frustration started creeping in. But I said, well, I know why I want to get into cybersecurity, which I'll share at the end of the video. So let me keep going. So I pressed forward, and my ChatGPT walked me through which one to choose, and he said, yeah, go with this one. So I went through this one, went through the thing, wasn't understanding nothing I was doing. So we pull up, it's not going to work because I used my 2 hours. But I was doing this thing. Oh yeah, I forgot. I just said I used my 2 hours. So why did I press that? But anyway, I go into this. It brings up the virtual machine or whatever that I learned, and I'm going through the walkthrough with this guy. Okay, because it said, hold on, it said you could watch. Where is it at? So, somewhere in here it says you can watch the where is it? Oh, you can watch the video walkthrough. So I was like, yeah, because I don't know what they're talking about. And I thought these they're flags now, but they were locks, and I thought I had to pay for it. So I was like, I could only do one thing. But no, I found out they unlock as you answer these questions and do these little things. So that kind of eased some of the frustration off, but I was met with more frustration. It said, what does the acronym VM stand for? I didn't know. That's why I got his video, and he told me all the answers up until this point. So I'm going through the exercises like, yeah, I guess that's the answer, but I don't know why that's the answer. What tool do we use to interact? That's the terminal, which that one made sense to me because I'm kind of used to the window command prompt a little bit. Since I've been working with computers, and me myself, I have just a few months, maybe 4 to 6 months of tech experience under my belt. Because when COVID tried to force them vaccines, I was out of my new job. So I was like, I'm bouncing. I'm not about to take that vaccine. But anyway, onwards. So I'm answering these questions, and I start getting towards the end. Anyway, he started doing stuff that I'm like, huh? So I started realizing, like, wait a minute, why you type this LS? What is that? How you knew the word was root? How did you know that? And then we got to this part, and he typing in stuff, and I still don't know how he automatically put this there. I like, that's got to be like some type of a, there's got to be some type of a keyboard shortcut you're doing to do that. But that wasn't what frustrated me. At this point, he frustrated me so much when he did this, because I'm like, how did you? Because I heard him clicking on his keyboard. I heard him clicking on his keyboard, and he quickly was typing out cat and then this, and I didn't understand. I was getting so frustrated. So I was like, well, I started talking to the chatgpt say, well, if you don't understand what they're talking about on Hack the Box, you might need to take a course in Operation System Basics. So I started going through the Operation System Basics, and I come across something familiar, the Linux thing that he was using. Now, did I understand this when I was going over it? No, the frustration didn't let me make sense. Like, here it go right here. I didn't even realize that till now. But like when I got frustrated yesterday, I was like, I ran into something. I can't find it. And I don't wanna, maybe it's this one. Let's just try this one right quick. Nope, I can't find it right now. But basically it was like, oh, you gotta go through you gotta download CyberOps and download that VM and using all these terms that I just didn't know. So I was like, well, how am I supposed to? I said, maybe to download it I gotta go in the resources. So I'm looking in the resources, and I'm like, oh, that's what he was kind of talking about, doing something like this. So I download it, and I'm going through it. Okay, this is my story. I go through it, and I'm like, okay, my brain is breaking, but I'm gonna try my best to understand what I'm looking at, and I'm looking for like links to download. So I'm like, oh, I was on VirtualBox before. That was really hard to maneuver for me as a beginner. Like, I didn't understand it. Like, let me see if I could just pull that up right quick so you feel what I was going through. So I'm like, download? How do I know? I don't even know what it looked like. What's the user interface like? I just didn't understand. So I was like, no, y'all not even showing me like what does it look like? Like, is it going to be hard to, and then like, what is this? Like, I don't know what all this stuff is. I was getting so frustrated. So that wasn't gonna work. So I'm like, where is the whole thing about the cyber OPS? Where is that on here? Because on the I can't find it right now, but somewhere in here it mentioned I can't remember where it was at, but it was mentioning download, the cyber, and I couldn't find it. I was like, this is so frustrating. So what happened was I started feeling like I wanted to give up. See, what I was finding was that the theory was a lot easier to understand than the practical of messing around with these physical things that I would have to practice with. But the ChatGPT was like, you need to take a break, when you're learning like stuff like this and you get to the point where you're getting frustrated. He said, because you've been doing well. I'm like, okay. So I tried to take a 2-minute break, but I wanted to figure it out. So I'm like, I don't get it. Like, what is all this? And the fact of the matter was, I needed to take a break, not 2 minutes. So I took about 5 minutes, because the way I am, I need to get back to that challenge and figure it out. So I was thinking, I said, you know what? I give up. That's why I really laid down, because I gave up. I was like, nope, it's not for me. I'm not doing this no more. And then I started thinking, wait a minute. I laid there and I thought, if you can't find this so-called cyber OPS they was talking about in one of these classes, and you can't figure out, and you don't want to deal with that, I'm like, you just was on Hack the Box, and they had a VM environment with the Linux. So maybe you'll get to the point where you get your little $10, $14 or whatever, so that's going to be there if you choose to, start diving into the practical. But right now, it's totally fine with doing the theory right now. Or maybe later on you'll find something else, and that's when I found let me go here. That's when I found Try Hack Me, and I liked it. As you can see, I finished all my stuff. I was like, this breaks it down more. I can understand why the answer is offensive security because it just explained it to me. And now I know this one is the one where you need to act like a hacker, finding vulnerabilities. Well, that was the whole question. So I'm like, this one makes it a lot easier. So the whole point of this is when you get to a point where you're getting frustrated with cybersecurity as you're a beginner, if you're a beginner like me, with only a tad bit of tech under my belt for me, I was getting very frustrated with these terms and these, but the practical side, it taught me, take a break. Then when you take your break, you can kind of regather yourself and refocus. And that's when I realized, I can focus on theory right now. But after my break, I asked ChatGPT, is there another one? Because I ran out of my 2 hours for the free version. But that's for a lifetime. It's not like 2 hours a day. That's when it told me about this one, and I thought this one is better for me, in my opinion, right now. So if you are frustrated with learning cybersecurity, and me myself, I want to go into penetration testing. That's definitely what I feel like I want to do. So if you're frustrated, just take a break. I know it seems like common sense, but if you're like me, you want to try to figure it out, or you ain't doing it at all. And if you happen to be one of those viewers who are like, man, I'm thinking about giving up on cybersecurity, it is so hard, hang in there. Join Facebook groups, ask your questions. Sometimes the Facebook groups will not, like when you got a question on your mind right away, so you join the groups. Let me see, do I have it here? Nope. But they took a while accepting my request. But it's like, be patient too. Be patient with yourself. Now I'm gonna remind some of y'all why y'all got into this if you're anything like me. Was it the pay? No. A lot of people get into cybersecurity because of the pay as you gain experience. This is my story. So let me see if he'll say the same thing so I can show you now how the conversation went. And I'm going to tell you if that's what he said before or if it changed. But let me open up my ChatGPT on the phone. So while we're going through this, I'm thinking I'm just going to, I wonder if I explain. Oh yeah, and so just in case I haven't mentioned it, all this stuff I learned was basic commands. It wasn't like just because I didn't understand why it's basic commands that you'll learn. So like I said, that's why the ChatGPT offered, you might want to take a class on this, and I found it. So I was like, yes, and it was free. All these are free right here, by the way. So let me open up my ChatGPT. Thank you for being patient with me in the video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't liked the video, please like the video. If you like this content and you looking forward to what I put out next, which will be about my tech journey in cybersecurity and what I'm learning and things like that, or sharing my encouragements or my little tips or whatever as I go along this path and my faith, then please subscribe. All right, so I'm opening up ChatGPT and I'm gonna see if we can have close to the same conversation we had. And this is how I'm about to show you how I got into cybersecurity a few days ago, which was this day right here. So this is what I asked it. I said, send me a picture of what people look like in the 80s. It sent me a picture. It was pretty accurate. It had them leggings, tight pants, oversized shirts, people with the wild hair, Then I said, show me what people look like in the 90s. It seemed to be accurate. It had people with, overalls and, starting to have t-shirts with the logos on it or whatever. It looked pretty 90s to me. So I started asking it, like, how do you think humans will look 10 years from now? And it showed like some people in suits, some people in sweats, and then one person had robotic body parts. And I was like, that's interesting because Neuralink is out. And I wonder what the heck is going to happen with Neuralink because everybody knows about Neuralink now. At least most of us do. So I said, could be right. So I said, well, if that's the case and you kind of aware of our trends, what do you think people will look like? And I started thinking like, how long I got left to live? So I was born in 85. So I'm thinking I'll be alive in 2045. I'll probably be like so much older. So what do you think people gonna look like then? Oh man, that's when it really started changing. He said, well, he explained, well, as technology advances, eventually people are probably going to start implementing, like the Neuralink, stuff like the Neuralink into their bodies. And I'm like, it's not really catching on like that now. They got the one patient that I know of. I think they started with a second patient. But in 10 years, you never know because technology is advancing pretty fast, if you ask me. So then my wheels start spinning. I'm like, so what type of jobs will not be popular? Because he's talking about AI taking over stuff and all this stuff. So I'm like, so what type of jobs won't be popular anymore and what type of jobs will be popular? Make a long story short, he said the customer service jobs probably going to be out the window. Them automated AI bots about to come in and do your customer service for you. He said, but careers in AI, telehealth, cybersecurity. So I said, well, I don't know if I'm qualified to do telehealth because I don't have a degree. And I don't know how I feel about learning about AI right now. But what about cybersecurity? So he said, yeah, that would be a growing field because as technology grows and people start having a lot of, smart devices on them and in their homes and interacting with them, whether they dealing with a telehealth person or they dealing with, going to the restaurant and dealing, restaurants going to have these robots, they're going to be everywhere eventually. So I said, why? Because I didn't understand cybersecurity. I never really thought about it in my life. So I said, why would, I'm sorry. Why? That was my phone. Why would cybersecurity be necessary? Because I didn't understand. It said because as technology increases, cyber crimes, people are going to want to hack into those things. People are going to want to spam people, phish people. I've already been phished. For goodness sake, my internet provider, somebody pretended to be them talking about you owe an $800 bill. I called my internet service provider. They said, that's not us. Delete that right away. I'm like, wow. So they out here scamming people, scamming businesses. So I started thinking like, wait a minute. If my family start buying these devices, because me, I have a computer, I have a smartphone, I have a VR headset, and I've been thinking about getting a smartwatch. So what my friends and family and the community gonna get? So I started thinking like, wait a minute. If I do want to secure, something for me in the future, if I'm going to do something, I want to do something that's going to help my community. Or something where I can help them with this if cybercrime is going to be on the rise in the future. So that's why I got into now I just went through the whole story. I told you I was going to talk to my chatgpt. So let's go ahead and have the conversation anyway for kicks' sake, okay? Just for kicks. All right, so here we go. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How's everything going today?
What jobs do you feel will be least popular in the 2030s, and what jobs will you feel be the most popular in the 2030s?
In the 2030s, jobs that are more routine, manual, or repetitive are likely to become less popular due to automation, artificial intelligence, and robotics. These could include roles like cashiers, manufacturing assembly line workers, and even some basic administrative roles. Jobs that rely heavily on repetitive data entry or simple tasks might also decrease as AI continues to evolve. On the other hand, jobs that focus on creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, and human-centered skills are expected to be more popular. Roles in cybersecurity, AI development, robotics, healthcare, especially with an aging population, renewable energy, and digital content creation are predicted to grow. Careers involving sustainability, smart technology like smart homes or cars, and ethical considerations in tech will likely be in high demand. Do you have any of these fields on your radar for the future?
I'd rather not answer that question right now. Goodbye.
No problem. Take care.
Okay. So, as you can see, one of the first things he said was cybersecurity. Okay? So that's what got me thinking, like, wait a minute now. Like I said, my friends, my family, my communities, the communities around the world. Because, I'm a Christian. You got to love people. You got to care about them. That's the number one rule. Love thy neighbor like you love yourself. So I care. I don't want nobody. Once I started learning about the different crimes in this class, I was learning about the different crimes that people be doing. I'm like, oh my goodness. I didn't realize it was really that deep. Now I get that when I go on my bank, they always got to give me this 2-step type of verification, and we went over that too in this course. There's let me see how I remember it. Authentication before authorization in alphabetical order, and that is the step that it happens. First is authentication, then it's authorization. Because they do this because people will try to pretend they're you and snatch your money up out of your bank. They will, if they got any, I learned even how to make usernames. I used to use the same username for everything. Not no more. I'm like, oh man, no. I'm like, you know what? I have been noticing that I get these text messages like, your USPS was not delivered. I'm like, I didn't order no package. What are y'all talking about? It's like phishing or something, like ways to trick you to click on a link. Or even I applied for a job and it was like, we interview on Telegram, and I gave my name and I think my birthday. Then they asked for my social, and I said, let me Google this right quick. And come to find out, they said these are the signs for if somebody offering you a high-paying job where it's typically only like this much offered, but they're offering you so much for this job, it's probably a scam, and among other things. So, that's the story. That's the whole full story now. So basically, what I'm trying to say in this video, if you're new to cybersecurity and you getting frustrated, take a break. There was a lot of power in me taking a break yesterday. There was a lot of power in that. Don't give up. If you're doing this because you want to help the future to stay safe, as they accept AI and these smart devices into their homes, this is an important role in society. It's important if we're going to be using this to our advantage. Like I said, I use chatgpt. That's AI right there. Everybody can see AI is in everything now. Grammarly use AI. So many things use AI now. Everybody is getting online. Everybody's on social media. Everybody is on their phones. Everybody is on the computer. Your bank information is on the computer. You pay your bills on the computer. You might even access your health records on the computer. The doctor gotta bill you, and that's via the internet. It's about protecting the community, my family and friends, for me. So this is the story of how I got into cybersecurity, and I hope that this video encouraged you. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, I pray that you like the video and you subscribe, and tell me what else are you interested in seeing. Is there something that I went over in this video where you're like, hey, do you think maybe you could go over this? Then I'll see, like, okay, like I said, I don't have a lot of traffic right now, so it's not like I got a whole lot of requests to go through. So if you're interested in a certain topic or anything like that related to cybersecurity or learning or my faith in Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, then just let me know. All right, thank you so much for watching. God bless you in Jesus' name. Bye bye.